have resolutions that we put forth, things that we want to achieve, and our intention is to become successful with those. But in most of us who have experience with life know that some of the things of life can come in and challenge. So they do what's called a Daniel fast. That's where you can still eat. So that's not a tough one. Where we do, you can do vegetables. You could do, you can't do no sweets, and you can't do no bread. Um, Somebody help me on this. No meat, no sweets, no dairy. Um,
Basically, fruits and vegetables and
Mostly
water.
fruits and vegetables and
No
water.
meat,
No
no
caffeine.
dairy.
No caffeine.
Okay. All those things that we love. And so one of the things that we did years ago, we would pick it up as a team and we would just pick one day a week. And we would go from sun up to sundown observing that particular practice. That's something that we want to get kind of in sync in, because what we're doing is something real special. When I say something real special, our work in Primerica, our outreach, and we always say this, is more than just a business. For us, it's a cause, but we explain it very much in the fashion of that it's a business and it's a business opportunity that you're working. But the things that we serve, the things that we share, are things that are so vital to our community. And we got the presentation where we show that we're last place in a lot of those areas that we teach about: owning insurance, saving and investing, and it's based on a lack of knowledge. But sometimes people can be resistant to the lack of knowledge. And so you got to get the internal fortitude to go at it. So that helped some of us in the past. And what I mean by the internal fortitude is that it's good that people are resistant, that they're kind of tough, because that means the opportunity is waiting for us. We shared with you all yesterday that there was a guy, he's been in the business 2.5 years, and he's at $1 million income. And Charles and I were talking last night, and he was saying that about a year ago, he got to spend some time with that guy. And he was talking about how phenomenal he was and so forth. But he's a guy who just came into Primerica. That's what we say, the best Primerica people are still in the street. Now, we don't even know who recruited this guy. We know some of the people whose team that he's on. But I'm showing you that as you're going through this, you got to know that you always matter, that you one recruit from a surge. You don't know who you're going to bring through those, we can't say the doors now, through the Zoom. And they may take off like a rocket. And you may have had 100 of them that were duds. You know, when we would come through the business, they used to ask, are you a dud or you're a stud? Well, you know, the dud is really the one who quits. It's not if you got low numbers or you're struggling. As long as you're hanging in, as long as you're still listening, then you're trying to get and trying to understand you're valuable to the team. So that's kind of explaining with our fast, and we'll be doing that on Wednesdays. And so we started that yesterday, and you know, it was kind of tough because that was when I wanted some of the stuff like some fries or something like that, but you can't do that stuff. Now we have RVP meetings this evening too, and for those RVPs, I think it automatically comes up. And what time does that start?
2:30 to 5:30.
2:30 to 5:30. Now that's something that, like I said, when I was in Charles Bay shop, I was seeking knowledge all the time. So I try to work out something with your RVP where they could, where you can look at it. I don't know, some kind of way. Some people weren't at the senior leadership meeting last week. Got to see portions of it, and so I don't know how you pulled it off, but you pulled it off. And so, you know, that's something that, you know, the times, you know, people are automatically connected, so you might want to do it. We have an op meeting tonight. In the op meeting, we want to make sure we get guests. And the way that we do it, one thing that we had put out that if you get 10 guests, you get $100. But tonight we're going to do a contest on guests. I guess we'll do Brandon $50 to first place, second place 25, third place 15, and then 10. Minimum 3 guests to qualify for that. There can't be no children, or they got to be real guests, not no guesses.
Hey,
And then,
George,
Huh?
think as far as that RVP meeting, because when we had ours yesterday,
Okay.
and so the thing that if you want to put somebody else on with you, you might want to create, do a Zoom, share your screen, and let them hear it that way.
I knew that Charles White and the organization knew how to do it. Because he was expose us to information all the time.
Sounds good.
Okay.
Thank you very much for that, Iris. That we can. So you're saying we get the Primerica online?
See, as soon as what it is, just like ours was yesterday. So as soon as you click on as an RVP, it comes on. Okay. So what you do is do a Zoom, share your screen. Then that way somebody else can see it, because it's going to only show on the RVP screen.
Okay. So you're saying I could actually put it on here?
Yes.
Yeah.
And share your screen.
Well, Brandon, you could put it on mine or yours, whichever one you're comfortable with. You feel you're gonna be at the office looking at it?
Yeah, by that time I'll be at the office. I mean, I can do it. We can do it on my Zoom.
Okay. So you all got that. Those who have the chance to take a look at it, you might want to partake in that. That's the 319 number, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And so now we got, we've had an outstanding week. We've had some people, well, not some people, but starting with Brandon, them, they gave us some vital information from that book. Did we get any update on trying to find that book? We couldn't find it.
Yeah, they must have gone just since December, because in December they had them on POL. Well, they might be out of stock, but yesterday I dropped that digital copy in the chat. I can put it in there again this morning, just so somebody can pull it off. So I can do that.
If you can too, if you can you say drop, those technical terms. Can you drop in group me too?
Let me
drop in group me.
I can give that a shot. Yeah, I probably can. I'm not used to dropping it in the group me, but let me work that out. Yeah.
Okay, but when you drop it in the chat, can we transfer it to other? Like when we pull it, can we transfer it?
Yes, because a lady named Iris Whitener taught me how to do it.
Oh, I see her nodding her head. So yeah, so there we go with that Charles Whitener group. I'm telling you, when Iris called and said she was going to be a part of this, I said that's truly a blessing. God is answering my prayers. But anyway,
if you're having a difficulty with putting it in the group, you can send it to me and I can add it in.
Okay.
Yes,
I have it on the PDF too. If somebody needs it emailed to them, I can email it to you also.
Well, definitely send me one, Charlotte.
Okay.
That way, as people ask me about it, I can shoot it to them. But if Brandon puts it on the chat, whoever gets a copy of that, Charlotte, can you send me what Brandon puts on the chat too? Because I ain't too good at that.
Yeah, I sent it. I sent it to you, George, a long time ago. You should have it in your email already.
Okay, with you. Okay.
Yep.
Well, thank you. And so, outstanding book. We do want to explore that more. It helps us understand even better. And then yesterday, Iris gave us some things on the presentation, which I thought were brilliant, how we can utilize it, how we can make it really work for us, and just a great job on it. We didn't get a lot of questions on it, so that meant that either she did a super job or everybody was still going through shyness. Now, this is the 14th of the month, and I think they're celebrating King Day on Monday. And one of the things that we used to do is we would have a theme to our op meetings. And they will relate to the various holidays that will come up. And that's a holiday. And we're going to do something special related with King Day, where you can invite people out to the op meeting on that day, and maybe even on our training class that day. Because we want to still keep moving. We thank God for the holiday and so forth. But I don't think Dr. King wants us to just take off on this holiday. He don't want us to lay around, because the struggle still continues. So we're not disrespecting his holiday. We're going to do as much as we can to have reverence and watch the shows and so forth. But we still want to proceed, because that's what he will want us to do. because our march continues. So it's the 14th of the month. So you got to look at where you are right now, not to get discouraged, but for it to motivate you. The mistake that a lot of people make is how they think about themselves. We put Osteen on yesterday to talk about that, but there are various ministers who always go into that, how you thinking. And so how you think as a man or woman thinking, so is he or she. So you don't want to get defeatist type thoughts. If you're not where you want it to be, and it's the 14th of the month, you say, oh Lord, well, let me wait till February. No, we're going to charge each other up.
Come on now.
And speak words of encouragement about where we're headed. That is actually, we're talking about a man in 2.5 years, he made $1 million in this thing.
Wow.
And y'all know when we came in this thing, all we didn't have Zoom, we didn't have no FNAs, we didn't have none of that stuff. We go out and they were lying on us. They were writing ugly articles every week. They were saying Art was in jail, he wasn't in jail. You know, this was a scheme, this was a pyramid. We had some, you should have seen some of the presentations we had. We used to draw some of our presentations. Talk about that, Carla. We used to draw presentations. We'd have a meeting like Brandon, y'all have training classes and all that. We'd be at the meeting drawing our presentation. We wasn't ordering it from the company or nothing like that. That's why they go so strong on compliance, because we were just doing what we want to do. Man, we had all that kind of stuff happening and against us. Man, but I was looked at Primerica when I first saw it. I said it's going all the way to the top. When I went to a convention and I was a job man, you know, I was not going to ever do nothing on commission. Man, no way I would take them. They had put that, ingrained that into my head, and I wasn't going to do nothing like that. But when I saw Sandy Wild and all of them, I said, man, these guys are going all the way to the top. Now you think about the struggle that you had, the things that you may have seen while you're, the people you may have talked. This young man went to $1 million in 2.5 years. Mika in 5 years. We had Dorman last year. In 1 year, he jumped 6 diamonds. All that, that's why we say it ain't just the faith walk. The faith walk is internally, but we know that Primerica works. We got it all in front of. It's not the evidence of the unseen. We see it. And all we got to do is work on ourselves. So anyway, Iris, you got a special guest for us this morning. Is she here? Is she here yet?
And she is here.
Yeah, I don't want her to think
she is here.
Crazy.
Okay.
Scream the holler. I mean, I feel so good and fired up. I could go the whole hour talking about how great this thing is. But we got a special guest.
Natalie, I want to introduce you to Mr. George Harrison, National Sales Director. That's George Harrison. Guys, I am so excited about this because Natalie is one of the most supportive people in our business for us, you know, with our ancillary products. If you call on her, she gets it done, you know, in one phone call. She's just a tremendous support person. So I asked her to come on today to talk to us about Vivint, because Vivint is one of those products that your brand new person can go out and offer to a client and make money immediately. So I'm not going to take it away any of her time, George, but this is Natalie Cahoon, and she is online with us. So Natalie, it's all yours.
Awesome. Guys, I'm very excited to be on here with you guys. I know it's been a little bit of time since we've done any training with you. And that's my bad. I want to make sure that you guys have all the tools that you need to have success with this program. Because guys, at the end of the day, what I'm here to help you with is your growth within Primerica. You know, I want to help you recruit more, retain your recruits, and get to that next level, right? Get to regional vice president that much faster, right? The way that we do that through Vivint, through the client solutions program, those products, is by getting your new guys a way that they can start making money the second that they join the business, right? Because you can work hard, but money talks at the end of the day. And that's a surefire way to get people engaged, right? So my job is to help show you guys the easiest way to do this. Because I think a lot of times people, you know, agents tend to overcomplicate this. And once it gets overcomplicated, then they just kind of shut it down. They're like, you know what? No, it's not for me right now. My job, it's an incredible product. People are buying this, let me tell you something. People have looked into something like this at one point or another, whether it's a doorbell camera, the smart thermostat, the smart locks where you can have your kids, you know, lock and unlock the door with the punch pad. People are looking into this and people are buying it. You would be astounded at the stats. At the stats of you know, the growth of this type of product in the nation, guys. Just with everything that's going on, there's a lot of question marks. People are nervous, people are scared, and they want to feel that peace of mind. They want to make sure, guys, and before I begin here, I want to make sure to emphasize that this is not to become a distraction, okay? This is not to become a distraction from your primary business, and I have a lot of respect for that. We protect people financially first and foremost, always. If you go to a KT, if you go to if you're doing a Zoom and you leave having just only sold a Vivint, I'm not happy with that, you guys. This is additive to that, and it's a way to not leave anything out on the table. So that's again why I want to show you guys the easiest way to do that, so that it doesn't become time consuming, that we do the heavy lifting for you. So I'm going to go ahead and share my screen with you real quick. Want to get you guys my contact information. So guys, I've been doing this for a while. I've worked for Vivint for 7 years. I've done door-to-door sales, any type of sales I've done. I've sold thousands of these systems. And before Vivint, I've actually worked with ADT. I've worked with a few different Monotronics dealers. So I'm very knowledgeable about the industry. But guys, I'm here as an instrument to you having success with this. Feel free to reach out to me, please. I think I'm the only one on my team who gives out my direct cell phone number. So please be respectful of that. But guys, I'm just like you. I'm a very busy girl. Texting and emailing is by far the easiest way to get in contact with me. So to the left of my picture, that's my direct contact information if you need to hit me up. Now, this number to the right of my head there, that sales support line, guys, they're going to be a resource that you might need to use in the future, okay? Those are my fixer guys. All right, and they're really good at what they do. So like if you ever, let's say you give the wrong solution number on accident, it happens, and you're like, hey, I didn't get my commission, can we look into it, whatever. Those are a really good resource to have. Guys, it's a tech company. There's things that need to be serviced so often, or if you move into a new home and you need help getting it moved into a new house, stuff like that. Those are the guys you're gonna wanna have for reference, and they're set aside for Primerica. Okay, so it's a Primerica sales support line within Vivint. Okay, so get that number down. Now, this phone number above my head, guys, that is your money-making phone number. Okay, the best part about this is it's not, I don't want you to be selling this. I don't want you taking time away from your day to sell this. These guys are the ones that you refer it to. So you're going to become the world's best introducers. Okay, your job is to bring it up to people. If you're not bringing it up, the answer is always no. It's, you know, it's a no-brainer. If you bring it up to people, they're asking you maybe a question or two. You're like, hey, look, I'm the plug. I got the hookup for you with this Vivint stuff, the doorbell camera, yada yada. And then you pass them on over to these guys so that they can take it from there. You're saying, hey, you know what? Let me get my guy on the phone or my girl on the phone so they can customize it for you. I'm going to call in with you to make sure that we get my discounts on there, make sure you get the hookup, and then they'll take it from there. Right, guys, it's super simple. And I'll kind of walk you through the process on how to do that a little bit more in detail. But real quick, if you are completely lost, if you don't know what Vivint is, if you've never heard of her, let me show you a quick video to kind of catch you up to speed. And then we'll come back and talk a little bit more about that.
Camera recording. Camera recording.
All right, so of course that doesn't showcase all of our products. I like to keep it pretty time effective, but that shows off some of our newer upgraded cameras. Those are probably the ones that I use the most here at my house. I like to online shop a lot. I have friends that stay here often, so they like to park in my driveway. When I moved into my house, I just bought this place a couple months ago, and when I moved in, I, of course, got my Vivint system set up right away, and I'm glad that I did. So I almost always have someone parked in my driveway, right? My next door neighbors, I don't know, they're just kind of socially, like they don't really understand social norms. I think they're shady. I don't know what's going on over there next door. They always have like different people coming and going at all times. I'm a little bit convinced they're drug dealers, and you're like, they don't have drug dealers in Utah. And I'm like, yes, they do. So I'm a little bit convinced of that, but they always would walk right past our cars, like within like a foot of our car. And so I started noticing that, and I'm like, oh, ew, that's weird. They could so easily be trying to, jack the car, get something off the porch, whatever. And it just kind of made me feel uneasy. When people's cars are on my property, I feel responsible for them, right? And so you better believe, I'm like brand new to the neighborhood, just moved in. You better believe I turned the whistle thing up like extra loud, extra high. They're like, who's this psycho chick that moved in next door? But whenever they step foot on my property, it would whistle at them and it'd say camera recording. So I see them like jump and kind of be aware that they were being watched. And sure enough, they corrected that behavior. They stopped cutting corners and cutting across my driveway to get to their house. Because it gave me a lot of peace of mind. And, you know, with everything going on in the world right now, and as we're seeing, things like that are hitting closer and closer and closer and closer to home. God forbid they have happened in your home. And if you've ever experienced something like that, if you know someone who has, you understand just how crucial, just how important that part of it can be, because that is not something that we think about on a daily basis, right? It's not something that's going to happen to me, right? That's what everybody thinks, guys. It's not a matter of if, it's a matter of when. And you know, my job and your job as a partner is to make sure that people are being proactive and not reactive, meaning that they are getting protected before something happens, not after and giving me a call and saying, hey, you know what, let's get this done, right? Because that sucks to backpedal on. All right, so now, as you can see on the screen here, and I'm curious if this video is going to play. Guys, Vivint, we are doing some really big initiatives. We're doing some amazing stuff with our marketing. These are a couple of our new spokespeople. I'll see if this video plays. It's really short. That's kind of fun.
Today, these dogs are going to show you how to install a Vivint smart security system.
We can do this all day.
And I think we will. Vivint, smart security, professionally installed.
So as you can see, Snoop Dogg is actually our new spokesperson, along with that other guy who I actually didn't know who that was until someone told me who he was. He's, I guess, big on TikTok, something like that. But guys, I've never been more stoked to be a part of Vivint, to be a part of a company. Within the last year, we have been selling and installing more Vivint than I've seen in my time here at the company. We've been around for, you know, almost 30 years. And that tells me that people are buying this, whether they're getting it through you or whether they're calling in, picking up the phone, calling in on their own, they're getting it. Guys, your job is to make sure they're getting it through you so they get a hookup and that you get paid for it. Okay, guys, we're the best at what we do. We are the fastest growing. Make sure that people have that optionality, okay, to protect themselves physically. Now, there's no license needed to sell Vivint, okay? And I don't even use the word sell, to refer Vivint, right? And guys, think about what that can do for your business. When you've got a brand new recruit, maybe they're teetering on the edge of being engaged. Guys, we got a lot of distractions. People have a lot going on, you know, or a lot of excuses that they're using. You know, they got the kids, they got soccer practice, they got their other job. Maybe their spouse isn't giving them support. You know, that's kind of a hard thing to work past. Maybe their brother-in-law is telling them it's a scam and to go get a real job. Guys, we've heard it all. Look, if you're able to pull out a check with your name on it for $250, that's enough to shut up the haters. That's enough to kickstart their engagement so that they can see the light at the end of the tunnel and what Primerica can do for them in their lives. You're not going to become a millionaire by referring these products. You're just not, right? That's not what this is there to do. It's there so we're not leaving anything out on the table, and to get your new people a way they can make money the second that they join the business. They sign that IBA, good. They can start referring people and start making some money while they're working towards getting their life license, okay? Guys, this is a huge, huge confidence builder, and there's no chargebacks. Okay, I'm going to say that again. There's no chargebacks for Vivint. Now, RVPs, you guys make $100 override on those sold below you. So that includes your own. So Iris, if it sells a Vivint, she gets $350, right? And all of her downline, she would get $100 override on those. I think sometimes people forget about that. Guys, this is something I'm really excited about. This is a new initiative that we just rolled out in October. So this may not look familiar. So let me explain what this is. So if you guys have you know, heard us train before, you knew that we used to have $100 fast start bonus. If that sounds familiar, you're going to be stoked about this. So what we've done is we're just working with home office really, guys. We want to invest more money. Okay, we want to invest some more money, especially directed towards brand new people, so that they can be even more incentivized and they can be even more excited. So what we've done is, instead of paying them that extra $100 bonus for like selling one in their first 30 days, we used to do that. We are doing an iPad instead. Okay, so it's not in addition to it, it's in place of it, right? So there's 3 things that they need to do to qualify for this. And guys, this is on top of their commission. Okay, so there's 3 things they need to do. So they need to sell a Vivint system within their first 30 days. All right. So they sign their IPA. They've got 30 days to qualify for this. So as you're recruiting, as you guys do great at recruiting out there, keep this in mind and make sure that you are keeping this as an option. Okay. So you've got to sell it in your first 30 days. It's got to be installed within the first 45 days. My gosh. And then you go on to POL and watch the Vivint training video. It's like 5 or 6 minutes long. We actually redid it. And so it's a lot shorter. And then boom, you get a freaking iPad sent to your house. Tell me that you've got a new recruit that's maybe teetering on the edge of like, it's for me, it's not for me, right? And you give them $250 and a new iPad. What are they going to do? They're going to be so excited. They're going to be so engaged. They're going to hit the ground running. They're going to kickstart their business much faster. And not only that, but they're going to be bragging to anyone and everyone who will listen about this incredible opportunity that Primerica presented to them in their life. Right? Use that as a recruiting tool. If you can't get in through the front door, get in through the garage door, right? Now, let me know if you guys have any questions about that because it is a new thing we just rolled out. Guys, I'm not going to go into this too much just for sake of time. I want to make sure I'm being respectful of that. But I will say this because I think this is an important piece of it. We are not the cheapest in the industry. Okay. I'm not gonna, tiptoe around that. I like to be very transparent with people. We're not the cheapest in the industry. There's always going to be something cheaper out there. You guys know that. There's always a cheaper option. We are the very best at what we do for a reason. We're very competitively priced. You'd be pleasantly surprised with it. But I always have some, my aunt's paying, $8 a month for whatever. Guys, I don't care if you're paying $8 a month or $8 million a month. If it doesn't work that one time you need it, God forbid, why would you have anything? Right? So let me explain how these respond differently. Because obviously ours looks better. It's got the bells and whistles. Let's not even talk about that. Let's talk about the protection. Okay. So let's pretend for a moment that these are 2 homes. All right. One's got Vivint, one has, I don't know, let's say ADT, right? So let's say at the exact same time, both of these homes are broken into. So with the ADT system, as you probably know, or you can guess, they're going to call you. They're going to say, hey, George, your alarm system is going off. What do you want us to do? Okay. George is either he's going to be at the office. He's not home. No one's at the house right now. Okay. So he's telling him like, I don't know what's going on. Send the police. I'm paying you a bill for something, right? Yeah. So either George doesn't know. Or God forbid he is home and someone's breaking in the house. He's going to be too busy beating the dude up with a baseball bat. He's not going to be like, hang on, mister, let me put my TV down. I need to take this phone call, right? That's not how it works. Either way, the monitoring station is getting an unverified emergency. If we don't know that it's an emergency, or if the monitoring station doesn't know that it's an emergency, if they're guessing, they're going to assume it isn't, okay? 98% of alarms are false alarms, okay? 98%, almost all of them are false alarms that get sent into the police. So if I'm a policewoman and if I'm a betting woman, I'm going to guess that the kid just set it off on accident. And I'm going to help someone change a tire on the side of the road on the way to the house. I've heard of it taking up to a few hours, up to an entire day. That's very real. And obviously that depends on where you live and different metrics like that. But guys, with the Vivint system, the alarm goes off within 7 seconds. That's an industry standard. We're talking through the panel live, just like a 2-way intercom, right? We're saying, hey, George, is everything all right? What's your password? So let's say he did just set it off again. He tells us his password is, go Cowboys, and you go about your day, right? If we don't get a response, let's say Joe Schmo is inside your house. Are they going to know your password? No. So we're listening in for any signs of distress. If we can hear silence, if we can hear footsteps, glass breaking, someone saying, take the TV out the back, right? Those things we're relaying to the police to make it a verified emergency. Police go right there. So hopefully that's kind of a brief explanation of just how the monitoring piece of it works. Guys, burglars are getting smarter. There's the amount of information that's available on the internet concerning this kind of stuff is kind of astounding. Look, I can take a walk through my neighborhood and look at the signs in the yards, just the signs, and tell you what's in the house and how someone would get around it. Guys, that's dangerous information to have. Burglars are getting smarter. You see it all the time. You can cut the phone line, unplug the internet router, and nothing works. And it's just the reality of the business. Now, if you know anything about Vivint, we are huge on promotions. We want to make sure you guys always have the hookup, always have the best offers, always know them right away. So I'm going to have you do a couple things here with me. Take out your cell phones. I know we're not supposed to have our phones out during meetings, but take your phones out really quickly. We'll do this. I want you guys to stay abreast of what promos we've got going on. Okay, so text the word Primerica to 370-370. All right. Super simple. This will just opt you in so that when we do start a promo, we'll send you a text the morning of saying, hey, guess what? We're doing this. Sometimes I'll get agents that are like, oh, I didn't know about da-da. No more excuses of that, guys. I want you to keep informed so that there's no excuses of that. Right. Winners figure it out. So text the word Primerica to 370-370. Second thing, if you guys have an Instagram page, I put it, and as you guys have seen, I like to put them together into flyers. So when we have a promotion, it's all right there in one place. You can see it's got the phone number, the promo code, whatever. So go follow this Instagram page. It's just for my territory, just for the southern states. So that way, if you're at a KT or at a Zoom, that's usually where I post it first. And then I'll go down my list and send it to all the RVPs that I'm in contact with, which takes a little bit of time. So go check out there. It's Prime Viv 1. Prime Viv 1. So if y'all have an Instagram, go give that a follow. Guys, the best way, and I would venture even to say the most successful way to show people how to have success with this is to show them, to actually show them, right? You're not going to sell this if you don't have it. You're not going to be talking about this if you don't have it. You're not bringing it up to people, you know, at the barbecue, at church, if you don't have it, right? Guys, it makes it like 80% easier for this program to just have this in your home. It's a cool product to have anyways that you use on a daily basis. This isn't soap and hope and lotions and potions. This is something tangible you get to use on your cell phone, which you have with you all the time, right? So much of this process is just showing off. Oh, I got a package at my porch. Let me talk to the guy through my phone, right? Like, oh, I forgot to close my garage. Let me close my garage really quick, right? Guys, make sure that you have this if you're going to have success with it. And I would even challenge everybody who's on the phone call right now. If this is not the right time for you to add something on this to your life, I get it. I'm not here to force anything on you guys. I highly encourage it. It's an incredible product that changes lives, but I'd like you to go through the process, call the phone number, go through the steps. At the very minimum, you'll have a better understanding of what we offer and how to bring it up to people at the minimum. So I challenge everyone on here. If you have called in the past, if you haven't called in the past, if you don't know what I'm talking about, call in, go through the steps, go through the process. It takes like 10 minutes. Okay. Now, really quickly, I want to walk you through like how to bring this up to people. So let's say you're sitting at home, you know, we're really not meeting with people quite yet in person. Let's say you're making some phone calls. Guys, that's the coolest part about this is that's all you really need to do. You don't have to be there in person with them. In fact, before all this pandemic and everything, we did all this stuff over the phone anyways. As you might remember, we did the call blitzes. Now, when you're reaching out to someone, the first thing you're going to do is discover their why. All right. So that means why would Darla want to get the system? Let's say that Darla just bought a new home, right? So I'm reaching out to my girl Darla. I'm saying, hey girl, it's Natalie. I know you guys just bought a new house. Congratulations. That's awesome. How's the move going? Yeah, moving sucks. Haha. You know, build some rapport. Call her for a reason. Hey, I thought of you because I know that you've got an elderly parent or an elderly grandparent living at the house. So I thought of you guys, right? I thought of you because I know that you just bought a brand new car that you keep parked in the driveway. I want to make sure to keep an eye on it, right? Give them a reason that you're calling them. It's going to make it a lot easier. Okay. Hey, I thought of you for this reason. Number two, show them your own system. Show them your own system. Show them your own system. Here's mine. I thought you might like this feature. I thought you might like to keep an eye on the kids when you're gone. Guys, if you got people, that have teenagers, give them a call because I bet they could find a piece of this that they would like to have. I don't know if you guys have teenagers. I don't. But I was one. And oh my gosh, I was really, really good at it. I could hack any of the systems my parents had, whatever, guys. This is a teenager's worst nightmare, right? Keeping tabs on them without keeping tabs on them, okay? So show them your own system. That's when they're going to start asking you a question, right? So you're saying, hey, I can get you the hookup. They're going to be like, well, what's the hookup? Like, how much is it going to cost? What are the specs and cameras, right? So that's when you transition them over. Don't even answer. If you've got a pretty good idea what the answer is, I discourage you from answering because that's a good way to be like, hey, you know what? I'm not sure. Let's get our guy on the phone, right? That's the easiest way to do it. So let's say that Darla asked me, okay, how much is that thing going to cost? You know what, Darla, the cool thing about it is that you get to customize your system so that you don't have to pay for things you don't care about. So let's get my guy on the phone so we can customize it. I'm going to call in with you so that we make sure that we're not missing out on any discounts and see what offers that we've got going on today. So they'll customize it, break down the pricing. If it works for you guys, cool. They'll send someone out. And if it doesn't, then at least we know, right? And then you're calling them, right? Okay, pro tip, guys. And this is really, really important. Call in with your client, whether that is on a three-way call, whether that is, in person and you're calling them on the phone, call in with your client. You're going to have 3 times more success with this if you are the person making that introduction for 2 reasons. Number one, it proves credibility all the way around, proves credibility, makes it a lot easier. Okay. Number two, call in with them so you make sure they are calling the right number. They're giving your solution number. If you just like, let's say you just tell them about, oh yeah, and we do Vivint, whatever. And then a week later they Google Vivint and they forgot about your solution number and they forgot to mention Primerica and they call in and they get it. Guess what? You're going to be hitting me up saying, hey, I referred these people. Why didn't I get my commission? Guys, there's a process for a reason. Make sure winners figure it out. Again, make sure you're calling the right number. Make sure you're calling with them to get the solution number properly. Okay. Now, if you're not sure if you qualify, we do service apartments. We service rentals, small businesses and churches. Guys, that's huge right now. That is huge right now. I've seen a very big spike in that within our business, small businesses and churches. So think about people, you know, who are affiliated with those types of things, right? And when I say small businesses, that's your hair salons, that's your coffee shops, not like big giant, you know, buildings, warehouses. So start thinking about that. And then we service 98% of the US and parts of Canada. So they don't have to be there in the great state of Texas or wherever you might be plugging in from. They can essentially be anywhere within reason. Now, my favorite part, and this is what I'll leave you guys with. We've got one of my favorite promotions that are going on right now. Okay. This is going on through Saturday. So, you know how I was saying within your first 30 days, you can get the iPad. Guess what? We opened that up to everyone. Okay. So, but this only is through Saturday. So for brand new people, it's always. For everyone else, just through Saturday, if that makes sense. Okay. So through Saturday, we're doing brand new iPads for everyone sold and installed. That means, let's say you don't have it yet, you call in and you get it for yourself. Cool. You just made $250 and got an iPad. Congratulations. You sign up your neighbor. Oh, guess what? That's another $250 and an iPad. You could very well make it. Guys, let's pretend I don't even have an extra incentive here. $250 should be enough to make an introduction. Is that fair to say? Okay. $250 should be enough to make an introduction. On top of that, you're getting an iPad to kickstart your business. Use it as an incentive. Let's say you already have an iPad. Use it as an incentive for new recruits, right? Guys, think about what you can do with this. Now, for your clients, so whether that's you signing up for it or someone else, they're going to receive, and you can see it here in the blue writing, free installation, free activation, and $150 off of the equipment. So guys, they're calling in regardless of if you introduce them, they're not getting that deal. So as you're hitting people up saying, hey, look, I'm the plug, I got you, let's get you discounts. That's what I'm talking about. That's what we're getting them, okay? For the specific promotion. Guys, just a couple last second tips. So make sure that they're calling the right number. I'll say it 10 million times and someone's still going to not call the right number. Call the right number, makes it easier on everyone so you don't run into any issues. Give them your solution number, make them read it back to you. Okay, make sure there's no errors. And then number 3, make sure that you mention the promo. Always talk about the promo. Mention it somewhere in there because it's on a recorded line. If we ever need to go back and listen to it, we're like, hey, no, they said. Okay. All right. If you do those things, I promise you'll never, ever, 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 ever run into any issues with it. You guys, I'm so glad to be here. Iris, thank you so much for coordinating this for me and getting me on here. George, it's wonderful to meet you, sir. I appreciate you guys having me on here. And that is all that I have for you guys. Again, please feel free to reach out to me if you have any questions about anything, if you need any help with anything. That's what I'm here for. I have your guys' back. You know, God bless you guys. I can't wait until we can start traveling again so I can get out there with you in person, but keep washing your hands and we'll get through this stuff eventually. I don't know if the hand washing will help with all the other stuff going on, but at least we can handle one part of it. So appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Outstanding. Iris, did you have any
yeah, I
comments?
did. Yes, Natalie, you know, I'm gonna share something. Hopefully I can do it real quick. Let's see here. Let's see, where's photos? Somewhere in my life. You know, George, I took this product and I talked with one of my brand new recruits. You know, everything in Texas is far away, right? And I went by her house, did her IBA, and I was driving home. And before I got home, she called me. She said, I've got a Vivint sale for tonight. I said, you got a Vivint sale for tonight? She said, yeah. I said, how'd you get a Vivint sale? I introduced her to her, but I didn't think she'd move that quickly. And she sold a Vivint, got $250 plus an iPad. Now she has 2 little children. She called me, a couple weeks later. She sold another Vivint, and I got this picture of her 2 little toddlers looking at their iPads, you know, and that's the picture I wanted to show. I couldn't find it real quick. But what it did for her, George, it immediately showed her how to make money. So she made over $500 and she wasn't even licensed yet, plus 2 iPads. So see, when you get some money in somebody's hands quickly, then they tend to stay latched on to you. The following couple days, she called me back. Me and my husband need our plan put in place. So she bought her plan. Then we did her sister's plan. So see, that gave her the incentive to keep going. So I love Vivint because it's a way. I mean, guys, I don't know about you, but I joined Primerica to make $250 a month. I joined Primerica to do that. So, you know, so if I can put $250 into an unlicensed person's hand immediately, then I really want, and I'm telling you, it's a no-brainer. You don't do anything. You make a phone call. It is a no-brainer. All you do, like Natalie said, give them the right phone number, solution number, and it's a done deal. So, George, that's my testament about my relationship with Vivint. I put one on my own condo in St. Louis, and my sister is staying in there. And my sister called me. She said, I can see the cars pulling up on the lot. She said, I hear them coming up the steps. She said, I feel good because I can see everything without opening my door. And what Natalie didn't mention is that everything operates from one app on your phone. One app. Natalie, do I know my stuff? Okay. One app on the phone. See, you ain't going to 2 or 3 different apps like some of these systems do. You go to one app and do everything. So I'm telling you, I'm sold on Vivint. I think it's a great product. I think it's worth every dime. Last night, George, Chevy told me that somebody was going through their neighborhood. Chevy lives in a great neighborhood. She has Vivint. They called her early in the morning and told them that there was somebody going around car to car looking in cars. They saw the people on their camera.
Mm-hmm.
So yes, I love Vivint. If you don't have it, you should get it. It is an incredible product. Control your thermostats, open the doors, everything. So I think it's awesome.
I have a question.
Yes, sir.
Natalie, could you please post your numbers in the chat, and also with the Instagram piece, is it the one under Vivint or?
It's here. I'll put these in the chat here. So one.
And those flyers that you showed, are they in the Instagram?
Yeah, those are.
Natalie, whoever, somebody. Listen, I have Vivint as well. And one of the things that I do, like during the day when I'm leaving the house, I usually have a tendency to forget something and have to run back in the house 2 or 3 different times. So what I do is I don't even set my Vivint until I get in the car. When I'm backing out of the driveway, then that's when I set the alarm. Because otherwise I would be setting it on. That's fine. I'll be setting and unsetting, So I don't set it until I'm in the driveway backing out, because otherwise I'll be setting it and unsetting.
Yeah, that's right. That's awesome. Quick story. I actually heard this. So I did a training last night with JC Brignoni's team out of Mississippi. And just a real brief story. One of his agents got Vivint set up in his house. This was a couple months ago, but I just now heard about this. So he got Vivint set up in his house, and he lives in a pretty good neighborhood. And they were so basically, long story short, there were some kids doing some car break-ins. They hit like the whole freaking neighborhood, right? So he's got a street with 5 houses on it. 4 of the 5 houses had some sort of camera system. Okay, he had Vivint with the whistles and the So he had Vivint. The other 3 just had like Ring or Arlo.
You said what you were?
And so all of the cars, his included, they came to his house. They went this house, went to his house. His was the only one who didn't get broken into. Why? The other ones had cameras because of that deter mode. because of that whistle. They scared them off. You saw right there in the video, it scares people off. They know they're being watched. They don't care. They know where the cameras are and they can avoid it, and they wear their hat and they wear their hoodie, they wear a mask, right? People aren't stupid. People know how to get around stuff like that. But his was the only house on the block that wasn't hit, but they had cameras, right, guys? Cameras don't equal security. Cameras don't equal security. Even if you have the best, most expensive camera system out there and they get your face perfectly, they get the guy's face, you can see the freckles on his face. The odds of them catching that dude just based off of his picture are like less than 2 or 3%. Okay. That's why the monitoring takes in place. That's why all of this comes together in the way that it does to make sure that it works, that it does what it's there to do, to catch the guy, right? So hopefully that kind of explains, because I get a lot of questions about like, well, ring and well this and well, okay, cameras don't equal security.
Hey,
Rodney,
Natalie.
I see you unmuted. Did we have any other questions?
Yes, I want to know. My name is Marina. Are you the representative for Missouri area too, right?
I am.
Okay. I just want to clarify myself. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Missouri is the South.
I guess the only southern state I don't represent, and I don't know if this counts, is Florida.
Yes.
You got a question. You got a question in the chat.
Oh.
From Angela Coker.
Okay. Oh no, you won't have to. If you already paid for the system, then you're good. They'll move it with you. Our moves program is actually really, really good. Call it. So that 855 number that I gave you, those are going to be your guys you're going to want to work through that. But I think the most that you'll pay is a one-time move fee, and the highest that gets is like 120 bucks. Sometimes it's waived if it's like over so long or whatever, but that's the worst case scenario. They'll just move it for you, and then you'll just continue the service, just paying the monthly monitoring. Good question. Unless you want to add something, then that changes stuff.
Okay. Thanks, Natalie. This is Rodney Richardson. You just helped me get a name and number while I was in the grocery store talking about that iPad they served. The checkout lady say she want an iPad. I got her name and number. Thank you. Appreciate it.
Yeah, you're welcome. Do you have me on speakerphone?
Yeah.
Rodney, my solution number is P599.
Yeah.
Oh, you want to cut too?
Rodney,
Cut you in.
Rodney, if they get Vivint, I'll send you a hat and a shirt. Okay.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
Thanks.
Let me know if they end up getting it, and I'll send you some swag and stuff. Just shoot
All
me a
right,
text.
appreciate it.
Natalie.
Hey, Natalie. Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Oh, no, go ahead.
Natalie, my name is Norman Holman. I have a Vivint at my home. My sister has one, and my dad has one. Now, recently, we just upgraded his because he's going through some physical complications with his legs, and it's incredible. He has the lock, the remote lock now that's tied into his Bluetooth speaker, his Amazon speaker, and now he can not only see who's coming to the house, and he can also unlock the doors and everything. And he's unable to move. So with that being said, it's excellent for people with disabilities and things like that too. It's much safer to get emergency calls in. It's helped us a lot. So yeah, Vivint is the way to go.
I think people don't realize that sometimes too. They think that this is just for like the young techie couple, like whatever, you know, it's guys, this stuff's custom for a reason. It's custom because it fits everyone's needs. Like, and that's why we format it that way instead of having like set packages. Guys, I don't like paying for things I'm not going to use. That bothers me. I don't like that. Pay for things you're going to use. Make your life easier and kind of fill in the blanks of what you think would work best for your lifestyle. But it is wonderful. It's great for people with disabilities. My grandmother, we set hers up within the last year. She, you know, when COVID was going on, obviously we couldn't go over and visit her, and she's there by herself. And so we got the cameras so she could talk to us through the cameras if she needed help. We got her the life alert pendant that goes with the system. You guys, there's a lot of pieces of this that people don't really think about, don't consider.
Yeah, we did the same thing.
But her system's way different than mine at my house. You know, it's different.
I even have access to his app. So if I need to check on something, you know, I switch off mine and go to his and just make sure, you know, he's all right. So yeah, it's the best. Yeah,
it's awesome. I love what I do, you guys.
Wow, these are some really good stories.
Yeah.
Okay, anybody else got any questions for Natalie?
Or any experiences that they've had similar to what Rodney just had. And Rodney I'm glad he said that, because these products can really help us with our recruiting. It allows us to recruit without a distraction, because like I said, he got a name. And you know, with Rodney, she's going to be a sale, a recruit. She'll have Vivint insurance and will be a licensed agent before she knows it. And so we all can utilize it in that fashion. I talk about when Iris and I first started, we only had insurance. We didn't even have our securities licenses. And we only had one product. Now, with the addition of all these products, man, we can really roll. We can really do great things. And you got to get fired up about it. And we just had an outstanding presentation by Ms. Cahoon. She really did a great job with how she shared and what she gave to us. And now we got another weapon that we can go out and use. And I encourage you to find your way to use it today, even if it's just a practice session, you know, where you practicing on somebody. Tell somebody, I learned something new in class today. You know, have you ever heard of this Vivint? And then move from there into other conversations about what we do. And I'm telling you, just based on what Rodney just said, people will be receptive to it.
Yeah, people are looking into this. They hear, you know, smart home, they hear this, they're like, oh, like, yeah, we were thinking about it, you know? And if people already have something, hit those guys up too. We do like a lot. Takeovers were my bread and butter when I was doing sales, and I'd go walk through the neighborhoods and, you know, knock on doors and stuff like that. I'd talk to only people who had ADT. Because if someone's already paying a bill, all you got to convince them is ours is cooler. It's like a few dollars more. And then they swap it over and they can use some of that stuff. So if they have a system already, those are, I think, some of the easier people to talk to.
And Natalie, one of the good things is build a relationship with a realtor, because in building a relationship with the realtor, when they sell a home, they do a lot of gift baskets, and you could put something in there about you and Vivint. And then that way you have your name out there. When they sell a home, there's another client for you, potential client.
Yeah, that's a great idea.
So any other questions for Natalie?
I don't have a question, but in reference to what Ira just said, as a realtor, I just closed on a property 2 weeks ago, I guess. And so as I was leaving, I turned to the girl and said, by the way, are you going to go ahead and get an alarm system on your home? She said, I need that. I said, great. And I just texted my information. I noticed on POL, she got it. And I didn't call in with her. I know we probably should, but I sent it in and she got it. So every home I sell, I'll hook them up with some of the products that we have, you know. So
that's awesome. Love that.
Also with my older sister, she got one. And I, like Norman was saying, you are able to see if you hook up your system some kind of way that it allow you to see the other person's alarm and see what's going on at their home. And so my sister called me, said someone's at the door, and they'll knock on the door and they'll jump back. And we caught it, everything on the video. And so she was able to call the policeman, and they said that they, from his picture, that they have seen him before. So yes, it is good to have, and if you've got older people that have it, link yours to theirs so you can be able to see what they see, you know, so to be able to help them out as well. So yeah, it's a great system.
Outstanding. Outstanding. Any more comments?
Natalie, thank you for your time. This has been a great presentation. I had a young lady that I kind of had to talk into joining the business, but I was talking about doing the the referral products because she's so busy and she's in school, she's doing this and that. So one of her coworkers, she just had a conversation with one of her coworkers right after I signed her up, and they asked about an alarm system. So she was like, oh yeah, we do that. So she called me and asked me to call them. I said, sure, I'll be glad to call them and I'll give them your ID and everything. Yeah. So I did that. And then she called me about another ancillary product and she was asking me about that. So then I gave her the information about that. And she said, wait a minute, is this all I have to do? And I can just make money like this? Like, that's what I've been trying to tell you all this time. Just call me. You got the ID now. So
yeah, that's so awesome. I love this, guys. Thank you for, for this. I love hearing about, I like it, the interactiveness and hearing your guys' feedback because it helps me to train better and talk about the right things. So I really appreciate it.
Well, we appreciate you coming on. Thank you so much. I don't know what time zone you're in. If this
I'm in Mountain. It's 8:00 a.m. now, guys. 8 a.m. baby.
we really got you up
Get my
early.
coffee.
We appreciate it. And, you know, thank you so much for the information you shared. And we look forward to in the future, maybe meeting you one day when things do open up.
Absolutely.
And so guys, if you have nothing else, we can let Natalie go and probably let you all go too, because we have our RVP meetings and they start at what time, Brandon?
2:30 Central Time, 2:30 Central Time.
But actually 2:30 at our time. And you know that you can get on it on the 319 number. So if you're available for that, I think that would be an experience that you would enjoy. And if you don't have any other questions, any other comments about what we got, we know we're the 14th of the month, so we want to move forward with some things. And we had a great morning this morning. We thank God for that. And now I guess I'll use my standard saying, I'll see you at the top.
Thanks, guys. Have a good day.
It's too crowded.
Thanks, Natalie.
Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you.
Wake up with no jammies. Lobster tail for dinner. Julio served that scampi. You got it if you want it. Got it if